All right, so we're diving deep into the world of AI today, but not some far-off future stuff, I'm talking about what's happening right now. We're talking neurotech that feels like it's straight out of the Matrix, and language models, composing music, writing poetry, wild stuff. And you've got some seriously cool sources lined up for this deep dive. So let's unpack these breakthroughs, see what they really mean, especially on the ethics side, and what it all means for us, for humans.
It really is mind-blowing stuff. What's so fascinating to me is how AI is going beyond just processing information. It's starting to interact with us on a deeper level, a creative level even.
Okay, so let's start with something that sounds like, well, pure science fiction. High-density microelectrode arrays. First off, what are these things? What are they actually doing?
Okay, so imagine this. Tiny sensors. I mean tiny, almost impossible to see. And they're picking up the electrical signals of your neurons. We're talking about the potential to decode the language of the brain itself.
Wait, hold on. Decoding the brain. Are we talking about computers reading our minds now? Is that really where this is going?
It's not exactly mind reading, not yet at least. But these arrays, they're letting us translate neural activity into something that computers can understand. Like researchers are using these to help paralyzed patients control robotic limbs with just their thoughts. That's a two-way brain-computer interface right there.
That's incredible. But if we can send information to the brain that way, couldn't this technology be used to, control someone's actions? It's a little unnerving when you think about it.
It's a valid concern, absolutely. The potential benefits are huge, right? I mean, treating things like Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, that's a game changer. But it definitely brings up these ethical questions, like how could this tech be misused? That's why it's so important to talk about this openly, the ethical development of neurotechnology. It's crucial.
So it's not just about the science, but also the ethics that come along with it. That makes sense.
Exactly. It's a tightrope walk, Incredible potential on one side and, well, unknown consequences on the other. We need ethical guidelines, frameworks, something to make sure this tech is used to help humanity, not harm it.
Makes you think. This whole thing reminds me of the advancements in language models. We all hear about GPT-4 and all, but what's next for those? Are they really getting smarter?
It's not just about processing language anymore. These models, they're starting to grasp context, nuance, even emotion. Researchers are seeing what they're calling sparks of general intelligence, not full-blown AI sentience or anything, but still, it's remarkable.
Okay, sparks of intelligence. What does that even look like in practice? Give me an example. How are these models being used in creative ways?
Imagine AI composing music that actually makes you feel something, or writing poetry that captures those complex human experiences. Some are even coming up with scientific hypotheses. The line between human and AI creation, it's getting blurry. It makes you rethink what creativity really means.
Okay, that's both exciting and a little intimidating, right? If AI can write a symphony or a poem, what does that even mean for human artists? For musicians?
It's a question a lot of people are struggling with, for sure. One way to look at it is that AI could be a powerful tool for collaboration. It could push human creativity in directions we wouldn't even think of on our own.
So instead of replacing human creativity, AI could actually make it better.
Exactly. Picture a musician using AI to explore totally new soundscapes, or a writer breaking through writer's block with the help of AI. We're just starting to scratch the surface of what's possible.
That's a much more optimistic way to look at it, I'll admit. But it does make you wonder, if AI is creating this kind of content, who owns it? What are the ethics around AI-generated work?
Those are the million-dollar questions, the ones we have to address. Ownership, bias in AI content, the potential for misuse. It's all part of this conversation around AI governance. And that's where things get really interesting.
Yeah, so AI governance. It's basically about setting boundaries, guidelines for how we develop and use AI. Got to make sure this incredible technology actually helps us, benefits humanity as a whole, and that we're ready for whatever
Yeah.
challenges it might bring, right?
That makes sense, but how do you even start to govern something as, I don't know, complex and fast-moving as AI? Feels like trying to hit a moving target.
No, it definitely is a challenge, no doubt. Different approaches are popping up all over the world. Like
Mm.
the EU, they're being pretty cautious with their AI Act, right?
Yeah,
Classifying AI applications by risk, strict regulations for the high-risk stuff.
interesting. So what about here in the US? What are we doing to address all this?
It's kind of mixed bag here, to be honest. There's a lot of talk about finding that balance,
Yeah.
encouraging innovation, but also making sure we have some safeguards in place. Sounds like walking a tightrope, doesn't it? Don't want to stifle the progress, but got to have some rules of the road, right?
Exactly, exactly. Some people want strict government regulations. Others think the industry should police itself. It's complicated, no easy answers there.
So where do we go from here? How do we make sure AI is used for good and at the same time avoid those potential risks?
Yeah,
Feels like this is a conversation everybody needs to be in on, not just the tech geniuses.
couldn't agree more. AI governance, it's not just for governments and big corporations, right? It's about public awareness, about people understanding the potential, the good and the bad of this technology, and having a say in how it shapes our future. It's about all of us.
So what can regular people like me actually do? I mean, I'm no AI expert or politician, but this is going to affect me. It's going to affect all of us.
Honestly, one of the most important things is to just stay informed. Read articles, listen to podcasts like this one, talk about it. Talk about AI ethics, AI governance. The more we know, the better we can make good choices, right? And advocate for policies that reflect what we believe in.
Knowledge is power, like they say.
Yeah.
Okay, so beyond staying informed, what else? How can we be more than just bystanders in this whole AI revolution?
Support the companies, the organizations that are developing and using AI responsibly. Make your voice heard, tell your elected officials what you think, and don't be afraid to ask questions, for goodness sake. The more we explore the stuff together, the more prepared we'll be for whatever comes next. The challenges, the opportunities, all of it.
It really does sound like we're all in this together, which is exciting. A little daunting, too, when you think about all the possibilities. But knowing we have some say in how this all turns out, that's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Speaking of exciting, remember those high-density microelectrode arrays we talked about earlier? The brain signal readers? Yeah, those. Sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it's really happening. And this tech, it could be huge, not just for healthcare, but for how we understand the brain, period.
It's true. Imagine we could treat Alzheimer's, Parkinson's with a level of accuracy we can't even imagine right now.
Yeah.
The possibilities for making people's lives better, it's pretty amazing.
Mind-blowing is right. But it does get you thinking about the ethical side, too. We're talking about, I don't know, accessing the very core of what makes us human. Thoughts, memories, our consciousness even.
It's a huge responsibility, absolutely. And one we can't mess around with. That's exactly why we need these conversations about AI ethics, AI governance. Now, while it's still early days for this technology, we have to make sure it's used the right way to benefit everyone.
I'm with you there. We have to be smart about this, careful about the future we're building with AI. It's not just about the technology in a vacuum, right? It's about the values we bake into it, the lines we draw in the sand.
Exactly. AI needs to reflect our human values. You know, empathy, compassion, respect for each other, that kind of stuff.
It has to be a tool that serves us, not the other way around. That's the bottom line.
100%. And that means talking about it, working together. Scientists, policymakers, ethicists, regular people too.
Yeah.
We all have a role to play in making sure AI helps us become better, not worse.
That's a big task, but man, it feels important, you know? And knowing we can all be a part of it, that's pretty inspiring.
It is. And it starts with awareness, education, and just being willing to ask those tough questions.
Good advice. Learn, engage, ask questions. Great takeaway for all of us as we keep going deeper into this world of AI. And that's our deep dive for today. Thanks for joining us as we explore not just what AI is, but why it matters and where we go from here. The future of AI, it's not set in stone. We're all creating it together, right? So stay curious, stay informed, and stay engaged. Until next time.